I went to a segregated elementary school, and got ready to go to middle school, my mother got a call and asked if it was okay if I would be one I think it was like 7 or 8 of us that would integrate the junior high school. And we did. And so I went to school in my hometown of Wilson, North Carolina. And I went to a historically black college, North Carolina Central. And I went there for my undergrad and my master's. And I thank God every day for that school because it was such an amazing experience. And I got an amazing education. I the professors that I had, they taught me things that even now, as I'm talking to young historians that are, in school at U of M or, working on their PhD at Wayne State, and it's as young people do, they always, they're impressive as it is, but then when they start to talk about all of this stuff, you go, oh yeah, and you can have that conversation. You remember, you're right up on it, and it's because all of that reading and that great education that I got at that historically black college, and I really, really, I am so grateful for the professors that I had, and I had some really pretty powerful professors though. As I think about it, my European history teacher was, she was an assistant. She was at the UN. She had been appointed to represent the country at the UN. So it wasn't, it seems like a small school. And at the time, you didn't think about them with the huge careers and personalities and all that they brought to the table. But it really was an amazing experience. And I remember I had Professor Dr. Early Thorpe. He also taught over at Duke. He taught at Duke University. He taught at Central. But he was the head of the department at Central. And he made sure that we could go to the National Association for the Study of African American Life and History. And there we met every major historian, John Hope Franklin, John Blassingame, Benjamin Quarles, everybody you can think of. He made sure that we were introduced to these people and while we were in school and in college. So that kind of care, making sure that we really did have a very, very strong background in education. And at first, my first 3 years, and actually 3.5 years, 3 years, I was a math major because I wanted to get a job. What are you going to do in history? Of course, I didn't know then what I know now. So I was a math major because I wanted to get a job. But I took an African history class with Corbett Jones, and he just thrilled me to no end. I took 30 hours of history my senior year so that I could major in history and get a master's in history. So you can tell I really do love history. I shouldn't have strayed away from it in the first place. It was my favorite in high school.